fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here with another Black Series ranking video. I haven't done one of these in a couple of weeks, and I want to get back on the horse. This is where I pick a media, whether it be a movie or a show, and I talk about all the Black Series that are related to it, and I rank them. So this list contains 24 figures dating all the way back to the beginning of this line in the orange line, which is a long time ago, and certainly most of those figures are probably going to be at the bottom of the list because we have had a lot of new Attack of the Clones figures come out in the last couple of years that upgrade a lot of things. But one thing that needs to be noted, because this video is being recorded in mid-November of 2025, I do not have that new Jango Fett yet, because that's not supposed to be out till February of 26. It might come sooner, but I do not have it. It is not out, so it can't be on this list. So if you're watching this later on down the line, I might have to update this, maybe in a couple years when we get some more figures. But as of right now, 24 figures that are classified as being from Attack of the Clones. So let's get into it and start with number 24. Spot number 24 was very easy for me, and it is Jango Fett, released in 2016. This figure was not a good figure in 2016. It was really disappointing between the bad likeness, the rubbery guns, the inability to hold any kind of Jango Fett looking pose, and the inability to really stand up without a foot stand. This figure has nothing going for it. It wasn't a good figure then. It's aged poorly since. It hurts me every time they reuse this to make any type of Mandalorian figure, and it's just not a good figure. I can't say it enough. Terrible, terrible figure. It was bad when it came out. I hate it to date. If you asked me what the worst figure in the Black Series is, Jango Fett. In spot number 23 is the Phase 1 Clone Lieutenant. This is the ranked clone with the blue stripes and the final one of the 4 to be made. It came out several years after the other 3 ranked clones, and for whatever reason, they decided to scuff up the paint deco on the lines and make him on the 2013 clone mold, which, while the mold matches the other one, the choice to weather him does not, and it makes him stand out amongst the other 4. It's all in the details, and it bothers the crap out of me, so I really dislike this one. In spot 22 is the Phase 1 clone on the 2013 mold. This was the debut of the 2013 mold all the way back in 2013, and it wasn't a good clone sculpt then. It definitely aged like milk and very quickly became a very frustrating figure. I remember getting 2 on Amazon when they first dropped and immediately disliking their lack of posability in the arms, and I never bought any more, so I held on to those 2 until we eventually got a new body mold. They also had a issue with them not getting all the paint right on the T-visors. A lot of the times the paint didn't go all the way to the corners of the visors, so they all looked a little bit sloppy. In spot 21 is the Phase 1 Clone Commander. This is the ranked clone with the yellow striping. This is on the 2013 mold, and it came out a couple years after the other ones did, and it was part of an Amazon 4-pack, which featured a Phase 2 Clone Trooper, a battle-damaged Stormtrooper, and a First Order Stormtrooper with a pauldron. Objectively, it was an okay pack for the time, but again, this is just on that terrible 2013 clone mold that was dated as soon as it dropped, and all of these ranked figures are going to be here at the bottom of the list to spoil what's coming up next. But yeah, they're just not great figures, and they're ones that I would really like to see them redo at some point. In spot 20 is the Phase 1 Clone Captain. This is the ranked clone with red markings. It's on the 2013 mold, so it's just objectively a bad figure. Even as a product of the times, I just really think they could have done clones better, even all the way back in 2013. I could be wrong. It's pretty much interchangeable with spot number 19, but I don't know. I like green a little more, so spoiler alert for what's next. In spot 19 is the Phase 1 Clone Sergeant. This is the ranked clone with green markings. It was the first one to come out in any of the decoed ranks. And again, 2013 clone mold, just a bad action figure through and through. It didn't impress me on day one. It hasn't aged very well. And all 4 of these ranked clones, I would really like to see some redos now on this new 2023 clone sculpt. So anyway, onward and upward from here. In spot number 18 is the Phase 1 clone on the 2020 sculpt. So Objectively, I don't hate the 2020 sculpt. We just have a lot of Attack of the Clones figures that are better than it. I don't mind the proportions. I acknowledge it's a little bit skinny. The first two clones to come out on this sculpt were the Camino Security one and this one. And people like to talk about warped helmets, and I don't really see it on the Camino one, but all of my Phase 1 clones on this sculpt had really bad helmet warping. No two of them looked alike. It was just a quality control thing. From the neck down, I thought they were alright, but the helmet was a little bit frustrating. And I just think that compared to the 23 sculpt, it's just significantly better with the newer body. So it's down here at the bottom of the list. Don't worry, we won't talk about any more clones for a little while. I'm a certified cloner, and it actually hurt me to put all these clones this low on the list. But Attack of the Clones actually has some very good action figures. In spot number 17 is C-3PO with his head on the B-1 battle droid body. Something that bugged me was the color plastic they used for the battle droid body did not match the prior released Geonosis battle droid. There was a slight difference in tone, and I really would have liked it to be more of a feature where you had swappable heads, and you just unpegged them at the neck, since the neck changes too. But the fact that you just kind of get left with 3PO with a B1 body really left me wanting a 3PO body with a B1 head. And instead of releasing this in a 2-pack with a super battle droid, I really felt like it should have been an Attack of the Clones 3PO, an Attack of the Clones battle droid with head swap action, just like they did back in the day for Attack of the Clones. But that's not what happened, which leaves this one a little bit disappointing. It feels like you're really missing the second half of this set. In spot number 16 is the Geonosis Battle Droid. Now, objectively, I do like the Black Series B1 sculpt. Even if it is a little hard to keep standing, I have just found some figure stands that work for them. I think they look alright. I acknowledge the SH Figuarts is a better Battle Droid figure, but you're going to be spending, twice the price per trooper, so do you army build that or not? I objectively do like the Geonosis Battle Droid. I just think everything else on this list is a better action figure than it. So I really have nothing negative to say here. If you've been wanting to pick up some of these red Geonosis battle droids, go for it. I do recommend them. But as I started to imply a couple back, just Attack of the Clones has a lot of really good action figures. So it's hard to put something that's a little fiddly high on the list. In spot number 15 is the Super Battle Droid with Geonosis Weathering, which was the second half of the 2-pack with 3PO on the Battle Droid body. And honestly, the figure itself is a really, really good figure, but I despise things like scene-specific weathering. We were really excited for the Super Battle Droid to come, and they put it in a 2-pack, and they splattered them with orange dirt, and then they waited for people to pre-order it, and then they announced a clean one was coming. I wouldn't have minded the dirtiness if it was more of a wash, where every single one of these is going to be a little bit different, but because it's printed on, you can't even army build this, because you're just going to have 10 of them that have the same splat on the same spot. And I'm not one of those guys that calls for washes. Just give it to me clean, and I'll give it a wash if I think it needs one. So the battle damage, the dirt on this one, personally didn't appeal to me in the slightest. However, the base body is great. Keep an eye out for where the Super Battle Droid ends up on the list overall. In spot number 14 is everyone's favorite blue lady. It's Aayla Secura. Now, Aayla Secura came out in the Galaxy packaging and was the beginning of us getting a lot of these Jedi Council type people in the line. And I'm really, really happy that she kicked off that line. But she has some old legs. They're pinned. They're double knee. They're very visible. I like the proportions of the figure. She looks like Amy Allen. She looks to be exactly as I recall her from the movie. And I'm happy that we got her. There's just a couple of things that keep her lower than the top half of the list. So this is kind of where I'm going to leave her, but great figure all in all, and I do highly recommend either picking up the Revenge of the Sith retro card or the Galaxy packaging one. They're the same thing, and they're very nice figures. In spot number 13 is Mace Windu. Mace Windu in the red and black packaging is an Attack of the Clones figure, as I understand, and, objectively, he's fine. He looks like Sam Jackson. He comes with a soft goods Jedi robe. His lightsaber hilt is painted nice. That purple blade looks good. There are some frustrating things about this figure that are ultimately just a product of the time he came out. His shoulder articulation is a little bit hindered by the rubber tunic sticking out so far over the shoulder articulation. It doesn't get out of the way very well. I just think there are better figures on this list that handle it a bit better than the Mace Windu does. The double jointed knees are really getting old on this figure. We keep getting this figure redone every year or two, and I just kind of wish we would actually get a true resculpt head to toe of Mace Windu. He's a popular enough character. I think he deserves it. In spot number 12 is Anakin Skywalker as he appears in Attack of the Clones. This figure reuses a lot of the Revenge of the Sith Anakin with a resculpted right forearm to not have the glove and a new head sculpt. The head sculpt actually looks pretty good. It's maybe a little bit wide, but it's a good looking sculpt, and otherwise, it's just kind of a alright Anakin figure. A part of me wishes that he had included the green lightsaber from the second half of the movie. Maybe since they made a new right forearm, they could have given us an alternate sculpt that, gave you a swap out prosthetic arm, but they really didn't. They really went bare bones on this figure, and they covered the bases that, you have to, but it did leave me kind of wishing for some more options on this guy, so that's kind of why he's not in the top 10, but I think he's a fine figure and one of the better Anakins in the line. In spot number 11 is Jedi Master Plo Koon. He has a really awesome new likeness, and the sculpted hands really do look like Kelador hands. However, the body is reused from Mace Windu, and as I talked about with him, there are just some frustrating things on the articulation that really date it. He comes with a unique cloak where instead of having the sleeves, it has the flaps on the front. It was the Attack of the Clones special cloak that they used for a couple characters in that movie, and it's alright. It's a pretty good figure, but I really think once we get into the top 10 next, you're really going to think that I'm probably on the money with those. There's some really good figures we're about to talk about. In spot number 10 is Obi-Wan Kenobi as he appears in Attack of the Clones. This one we should have seen coming. It has a really good likeness. I really like the reuse of the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan body. The articulation was really good. It was where these new Jedi sculpts were really starting to come into their own and be very posable. There's a couple of things about it where you start messing with it and you're like, oh, yep, this guy definitely came out in 2019. He's aged a little bit, but I think that if they wanted to archive this figure at any point, it would still stand up on its own. It's definitely a little bit older, but it's a good figure for its age, and one that I do truly very much like. In spot number 9 is Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto came out in the same wave as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and much like Plo Koon, Kit Fisto reuses a body, but he reuses Obi-Wan's body. So you get a really nice Kit Fisto head sculpt and hands, and then from the neck down, it's that same body that we were just talking about. So yeah, this far along, a couple things about it are getting a little bit dated, but overall, I do really like Kit Fisto. So, great figure, highly recommend. You should pick him up. Whether you pick up the Revenge of the Sith retro card, or if you go back for the orange box, I think you won't be disappointed by either of them. In spot number 8 is the fairly recently released Barriss Offee. Now, Barriss reuses a couple of pieces, just the legs, really, from Aayla Secura. However, she features a soft goods skirt which covers those double pin knees, so they're a little bit more forgivable here. And all the new sculpting, which is from the waist up, really does look good. She has that kind of ribbed bodysuit she wears, the heart belt buckle. She has a sculpted hood that has that unique kind of shimmery pattern on it, and then she has a soft goods cape where the pattern has been printed on it as well, and it translates very nicely. Barriss is one of the better Jedi figures of the most recent years, and I do highly recommend her to anyone that's a prequel fan. In spot number 7 is Barriss's master, Luminara Unduli. Luminara similarly features some Aayla Secura legs under a soft goods skirt, so I forgive them, and her costume was done very well. I love everything about the Luminara figure. She features some very nice decos on her lightsaber hilt. Throughout her costume, I love her sculpted little headdress hat thing that she wears. Very nice likeness to the character. It's just a really good figure. Honestly, I would even argue Luminara and Barriss might be interchangeable. They're both probably equally good in my opinion. But Luminara, I think, is just marginally better. That's personal taste, though. In spot number 6 is Padme Amidala in her white battle suit from the Geonosis arena. This is pre-ripped out abdomen that she kind of gets in the second half of that fight. So she's wearing this on Tatooine and then during the droid factory scene mostly. And she is really, really cool. She has one of the better likenesses of the era. This was later red packaging. I love that she comes with her Naboo blaster pistol, which she promptly loses, and then she comes with a droid blaster because she promptly picks up a battle droid blaster and keeps on aggressively negotiating. This figure is a couple years old, but it features a lot of modern articulation points. This is right when the line started really transitioning, and I just got to give infinite props. This Padme Amidala is a great figure. In spot number 5, released this spring, is Shock T. Shock T features a couple of reused parts from Ayla Secura, being the legs, but again, under a soft goods skirt, so who cares? And she has a lot of soft goods covering up the body sculpt, but they are all stylized and stitched very fittingly. They look really good, and the big selling point with Shock T is that beautiful likeness. It looks just like she does in the movie. Infinite props. Shock T is a very fun design. One of those kind of generic prequel background designs that they were kind of like, hey, you know what? We were hitting some money there. And honestly, our first Togruta. So, I'm an Ahsoka Tano fan, so I got to give her props for being the first of the species that we see in the series, and hopefully there was some inspiration for Ahsoka's design later on. So Shock T, very cool character. Sucks we waited so long to get her in the line, but she's a better figure for the wait. In spot number 4, talk about the wait. It was about 2 years between teasing and getting him. Ki-Adi-Mundi. Now, Ki-Adi-Mundi actually is a really, really good figure. He was one of the first figures in the line to feature the ball-jointed wrists, and they work very well on him. He's a little bit bulky. His arms and legs are a little bit thick, and you might think that might hinder some of the articulation, but it does not in any way. He's extremely posable. His left hand features a slight force gesture to it, so it's not just your lightsaber grabbing hands. Does not bother me if a figure only has lightsaber grabbing hands, but that does make him a lot of fun. So Ki-Adi-Mundi is a very fun figure. I like the likeness. I like the articulation. I just like this figure. Good work, Hasbro. In spot number 3, the Count of Sereno himself, Count Dooku. This figure came out in the end of the Red Box line and was a standout figure for the time. He featured some of the more modern articulations that were first introduced near those very end figures. He features the swivel knees instead of the double joints, and he has an amazing likeness. This is Christopher Lee. Just personified. It is a great likeness, and the first figure in the line to feature the swoosh blade effect. They were gambling there, and I think a lot of people have talked about how cool it was that Count Dooku had that accessory all these years later, because they started to sprinkle him in a little bit more heavily. More people are talking about the swoosh blades, and that's really cool. It seems we're going to be getting a lot more of these, as this next fan channel wave implies, and I just really think it's because of the reception all these years later to this figure. So all in all, Count Dooku, very worthy of spot number 3. In spot number 2 is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper on the 2023 sculpt. I love this sculpt. I love everything about it. It's a little bit thicker proportioned. It looks like there's a guy in the armor. I like that the chest armor is an actual overlay. The removable helmet to a face painted that looks like Tamura Morrison. Just great stuff going on here. Very posable, very fun to work with. This is the superior Phase 1 Clone Trooper. It's so good that the bottom of the list had to all be the other Phase 1 Clone Troopers, because how could I say any of those are good when this exists? What a great figure. I love this new sculpt, and I really hope it's here to stay for a long time, because I have zero gripes with it. Long live the 2023 Clone Trooper sculpt. And in spot number 1, I told y'all to keep an eye out for where this was going to fall, because that Geonosis weathering was not it. But what is it? The Super Battle Droid. This is a figure that the community has been asking for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. The most desired Separatist unit after the B-1 Battle Droids. As soon as those came out in 2018, that was the next one we wanted. And you know what? It sucks it took so long to come out. Except if it came out all those years ago, it would not have been a very good action figure. Us waiting for some of these things has really proven to be for the best, because modern Hasbro is cooking on everything they make, and this figure is so cool with the removable head and chest plate and the blast effect on the wrist. Not my thing, but I know people are asking for them. So there you go. We're starting to get some effects. We're starting to get some really fun features on these things that don't make them too gimmicky. And it's just really, really fun. What a great figure. If I had to pick 5 Black Series figures out of the entire line to show someone, to be like, these are why I like this line. These are the 5 best in the line. Super Battle Droid would absolutely be one of those 5. What a great sculpt. I have nothing negative to say on this one. And a very worthy number 1 in the Attack of the Clones lineup. So that's it. That is my ranking of the 24 figures that have been released so far under the Attack of the Clones lineup. I'm wondering where this new Jango Fett in a few months is going to end up, but I did not want to put this aside, so I'll do an update somewhere down the line when we get a few more figures for this movie. But what do you think? Am I spitting? Am I accurate on any of these, or am I high on spice? So you tell me in the comments below, what's your favorite Attack of the Clones figure, and is there a movie or series I should do next? So don't hold back. Let's have a conversation about it. May the Force be with each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a great day.